It's time for Verbal Tap, the show that would have won the World Cup if it was about MMA comedy podcasts. I am your host, Kevin Phillips. With me, of course, Your Majesty, Raf Esparza. Raf, how are you doing this evening?
That was good. Can we do the opening again?
Sure. So I don't... is this just about me saying Your Majesty again? That I'm here with Your Majesty?
Well, I mean, you don't have to redo the opening. You just redo my intro.
Yeah, of course. Here, the man that I have to refer to in Roy... You are awesome. I mean, I'm not saying you're not, but I have to specifically address you all evening as Your Majesty. Your Majesty, Raf Esparza.
Thank you. Kevin, how are you doing today,
servant? I've been better. You're not required to call me anything, by the way. That's not...
Oh, no, peasant. I think is something I just feel in the moment right now. I will call you. Yes, peasant, go on.
It's a beautiful Sunday evening. We're doing it today because Your Majesty over here has a show this week. And I also
Although, when you say it like that, there is like a hidden kind of... because Your Majesty has a show this week. So pick and choose where you use it appropriately, please. Your Majesty does not appreciate it.
I don't even know. I don't know what that criticism was for. I'm doing the... Okay. Well, you have a show and I have a show this week. So we're getting it out of the way early. And we've got exclusive stuff with Cody Bam Bam Bollinger coming up on the podcast this evening. I am stoked.
Yes.
Yeah. And
now, okay, hold on. Before we go any further, why are we doing the podcast today? Because I have rehearsal tomorrow on a show the next day, but you let me know for sure that you couldn't do tomorrow. What is tomorrow for you?
I don't know why you're specifically calling this out. You have rehearsal and a show. I have a show this week. We were trying to get it done early.
But there's some reason that you can't do tomorrow. What is that reason?
I have plans. I'm going with my girlfriend to a concert. We're going to see a show.
That's great. Which concert?
Why is that important? I don't think anyone...
I think it might have some information that's telling to our audience because, you love going to concerts. The last concert you went to was Justin Timberlake. So what is this next concert that's going to top that?
That
you're just as excited about, if not more.
That you're able to keep a running inventory of the musical things I catch. Oh, fuck it. Fine. We're going to watch Sarah Bareilles in concert.
Wow. This is the worst person you could go see live.
No, this is
Kevin. Yeah. Why are you going to see her?
Because she's telling the world that we finally got it all right. Ooh, and I love it. She's make you stance, and that's that, acoustic music will survive.
I think that song, because I think she only has one song in my brain, is the most annoying song in the entire world. It's on the commercial all of the time.
Yeah.
I believe it has to do with being brave.
Bravery.
And I swear to God, every time it plays on the commercial of her being, I want to shoot the TV. And so now, of course, the person who I am connected with on this podcast is like, I love her. I'm going to see her tomorrow. She's the best.
I don't just love her. Like, we're going to catch her in concert on a Monday evening. Yeah, well, I always thought Brave would be a really great theme song for us. So I'm disappointed to hear that Your Majesty, you don't feel that way.
Well, this is why one of us is royalty and the other is trash. So,
God.
There's that.
Speaking of, you've been to 23 gyms in the past week? How many?
No,
you did a tour of 47 gyms? I have that number written down. I don't know why.
I wish I could go to that many gyms and survive, like have a body that actually would cooperate with 43 gyms in a week. But no, I visited 3 different gyms this week, all of them great in their different ways. But it started off over at Higher Ground Jiu-Jitsu over in Roland Heights. Kevin, can I tell you a little bit about why this is the most depressing to me? This place?
Please do.
Okay. This place is the gym of choice of our good friend, Mr. Jaime Gonzalez from BJJ Rants. And we've been meaning to train together and for the longest time. And I finally happened to be in the neck of the woods where he trains, which happens to be where I used to grow up as a kid. Okay?
That's a lot of like. That's a lot of information, first of all, but this is just a lot of cross section.
Yes.
That's cool.
It's a lot. So I'm happy he's training out that way. But let me tell you this, Kev. When I moved back to California in about 2008, 2009, I was looking for a place to train near where my parents lived. And that place didn't exist then.
Oh, that's personal.
Yep. So when I got there, I looked around and I go, oh, how close is that from where my. Oh my God, it's 2 miles away. Are you shitting me?
It's
Now
2
these kids
miles
have
away?
something. Yep. It's super close to where I grew up. And so now all these kids have all this jiu-jitsu that they don't even know what it was like growing up without a place to train there. So these kids have everything now.
Little fuckers. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
know.
They've got YouTube.
Yeah.
They've got
terrible.
fucking all this. It's just
Google. You can
Google.
search anything.
They don't ever have to go to Blockbuster and suffer the disappointment of not finding something to watch.
Or having to rewind.
Oh,
These kids will never know what having to rewind and getting charged a fee for that. That's the biggest bitch in the world.
I want to explain that
all
to someone
seriousness.
who's 15. I just want to ask, like, how much would you pay to have someone just to move the video cursor back for you? Just be like, what are you
I
talking
think the
about?
hard part is I've now realized that at some point we're going to have to explain what DVD discs are and what they were used for. And that scares me. Like looking at my DVD collection right now, I realize, oh no, I'm going to have to explain to a child why we have these things that you can instantly just look at on the supercomputer.
Yeah. Why do you
But
have?
anyway, enough about us being old. No, it was amazing. And in all seriousness, this gym is so much fun. They started off their cardio with playing 2 games of soccer inside. They got a little tiny like kids ball that's like that you give a puppy to play with, and we took it way serious. I'm talking this was World Cup level competition, Kevin.
That sounds awesome. I saw a meme of you playing that did not look like. It did not look like World Cup.
It was rough. It was their instructor, brown belt, Sean, who scored a goal on me, and I was not pleased about it. More so because he also has a great cross collar choke.
Yeah.
So between that and the amount of pressure he puts there, and then scoring a goal on me, it's kind of like you have it all, Sean.
That would really liven up jiu-jitsu or soccer. Well, fuck it, either one. Just incorporate a little bit of
either one.
the others into
Kevin's
it.
selling out both the sports I love, one of which he loves dearly. But I mean, this place was so awesome to train at. Really, really cool people. It was an honor and a true treat to go ahead and train with our buddy Jaime. And if I can tell you to go over there, they were so cool. And you know how patient you have to be with me in jiu-jitsu. So they were super helpful. And I can tell you this. Right after we played the 2 games of very competitive soccer, which I think took about 30 minutes. I don't think I'm exaggerating. By the time we finished, I looked at them and said, oh, that was the class, right? That was it, right? We don't have to do any more. Oh, now we're doing the class.
Everybody else is all done too. No?
Yep.
Okay, 'cause there's a lot of sprinting in soccer. It's very tiring. It's a crazy warm-up.
So we did that. I also went to 10th Planet headquarters out here in Los Angeles, which is at the Tap Out gym in downtown LA. Really cool stuff. Got to watch Eddie Bravo teach for the first time.
That's fucking cool. You went to
Yeah.
the 10th Planet HQ? You walked into the mothership?
I did.
Yeah, you asshole.
I did, and it was strange. And you know that I started 10th Planet, so a lot of the concepts I understand, but now it's so different. Just even the stuff, the way that they modernize what they're doing all of the time so continuously. And I got to roll with our good friend Brandon McCatherine, so he was a beast, really helpful with me as well. His team is all a set of killers who are coming out to go compete at Gracie Nationals up here in California. But
awesome.
getting to train with them was great. And I'll say this about Eddie's instruction. I've watched videos of him instruct, and I've watched him kind of give technique demonstrations. But, like, the way he does it is an approach to almost philosophy for this advanced class that they have, that it's like 20 different concepts being thrown at you all at once, and it's fascinating.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yep.
I got caught in an Eddie Bravo YouTube wormhole recently.
And it's fascinating because the amount and the speed in which he works at is really cool to watch. But all of those people who were there were just killers. They're so great. I loved learning as much as I could from them. And I was trying to absorb because I was like, where does my lapel grip go?
I'm confused. How do you guys keep the wrist? Oh, you don't? Oh, I'm just asking
Grab
questions.
the pant leg. And then what happens here? So that was a blast, but it was like I said, it was really fun to roll 10th Planet again. And then I also trained over at Cobrina's, which guess what, Kev? I've got a Groupon, so I can go back there. What?
What every true jujitsu nerd, that's the sentence. That's what gets it. I've got a Groupon. I'm going back to Cobrina. That place is huge, isn't it?
It's pretty big, yeah. It's good. And
when you and John shot that video of the flying leg drag with Isaac, I just remember you guys walking in, and I was super confused. I was like, when are they going to stop walking through jiu-jitsu mat sections? It's like, I feel like they've walked around this gym 7 times.
Well, I'll also tell you, just because of the, I guess the backstory of all this, a Verbal Tap exclusive, if you would. John just walked forever. Like, John could walk faster, but he also didn't want to walk so fast that the camera would fall behind. So when Jevons is right in front of you and he's just kind of taking it easy, I look at him and I go, you can walk faster. You can go a little faster. So I don't know if that maybe helped with the difference of it. But
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
and it was great
awesome
to roll with their folks over there. I mean, I've just had a great week of getting to meet new people and roll with them. So that was really cool.
Rolled with some fucking people, too. Got to see Brandon McCatherine's shiny head. He's going to like me very soon, by the way. That's just
is he?
That's an internal teaser, yeah. He's going to like me very soon. You got that new and upcomer. I'm sorry, did you say it was Eddie Bravo? What was his last name?
Eddie Bravo, yes. Johnny Bravo.
That would be so awesome. I just like it when people mispronounce like really popular people's names.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Especially with Eddie Bravo. No, that's badass. And then Cora Borna? What was the last one? Is that Cobrino? No. Someone's choking me next time I'm in LA. Without question.
I will introduce you to all of those people, and I will be like, here is a sound clip of everything he said about you. Have that. He hates wrist locks. Go.
I got wrist locked, by the way, on Wednesday night.
Oh, did you really?
Absolutely.
Was that for me?
It felt a little like that's what I was going to tell you. I was like, it felt a little like it was just because you had requested it. There were other things he could have been doing, and he just completely switched his focus to a wrist lock.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll call it that. Hey, which fight are you looking forward to more? UFC Fight Night or UFC Fight Night? Fight Night on Wednesday or Fight Night on Saturday?
How many events are there happening in the next 2 weeks? Because I'm lost. I don't know where we are anymore. Which Fight Night are you talking about?
422 fight nights. No, I'm talking about Cerrone versus Miller as I guess the one I'll just say that's the one I'm excited to fight. I love watching Donald Cerrone. How do you not love Donald Cerrone getting in the cage anymore? Like he's been like an insane person. It's the best.
Yeah, I know. He is really somebody to watch. And you know, between the Cowboys' wonderful stand-up and Miller's great submission game, and it's not to say that either are a slouch at the other, what I didn't mention, but oh my god, just think of the possibilities for that.
This could be a really fun fight. It's like they always do these. They have some really sneaky great fights. Like we get to see a lot of Tim Kennedy on some of these fight nights. Him and Donald Cerrone are like those two candidates that get to slide into these and always put on a show. So people should watch that.
I mean, that's the most exciting thing that's happening.
Yeah.
I would say within the next week, maybe within the next 2 weeks, I would probably say I'm pretty excited about Robbie Lawler versus Matt Brown.
Yeah, if you're wanting to skip right past, me too, but I'm going to be condescending for a second, Your Majesty, because there is a fight in Dublin, Ireland on Saturday, July 19th, 2014, and I only mention it because I believe Ireland is still on the caste system, right?
I don't really follow Ireland news, but I'll take your word for it.
I mean, I didn't major in Ireland in college, so I guess I don't fully know, but I think they do. So I just thought they'd like.
But as a white person, aren't you supposed to know these things about them?
Yeah, I do feel like I have like a certain intuitive knowledge. If I went, they'd let me vote, I'm sure. I'm also a little bit Irish, so it really hurts that I don't know this.
Good for you.
You know what? Next podcast, I'm going to know a lot more about Ireland. That's a promise.
Please do.
People are like, no, that's okay. No, not necessary. Well, are you ready to bring on our really talented, multi-talented guest, Cody Bam Bam Bollinger?
You know I am, and I'm really excited for people to hear all of the shit he's been up to.
I am too. It's insane. So myself and Your Majesty, Rafa Sparza, will be... Verbal Tap fans, we have back arguably one of our best-looking guests, and we're finding out more and more about maybe why he should change his name from Bam Bam to Full of Surprises Bollinger, fresh off a World Series Fighting 11 victory. Cody, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing awesome, man. How are you guys?
Good. Raph and I were just talking to him before air, as we normally do. And you just let it slip that you're a stuntman now?
Yeah, man. I'm playing a part in some, I don't know, it's with Frank Grillo and Nick Jonas and Matt Lauria. It's like a big MMA type TV series, and I look exactly like one of the guys. So, yeah, I'm the stunt double now and get to do all the fight scenes and pretend to fight.
That's awesome. 3 things. One, did you say Nick Jonas as in a Jonas brother?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay,
actually, he's actually really, really athletic. Like, he can do some crazy shit that I wouldn't expect him to be able to do.
Like, have you just looked at him and been like, you want to go, bro?
I want to roll with them just so, like, you know, the superiority complex, like, you know, but but no, they're all really cool guys, so it's working out pretty good, man.
Number 2, are you Nick Jonas's stunt double?
No, I am. His name's Matt Lauria.
I was kind of hoping that they would like slap a wig on you, and then someone may have mistold you that you look like one of the Jonas brothers. And number 3, this is the most important one. This is genius because do you make more money being a stuntman than you do a fighter?
I make really good money with World Series, but yeah, man, it's crazy. It's all unionized, so I literally, one of the days I showed up and I was there for 2 hours and left, and I got paid a lot of money for that. And I mean, if I could do it every day, yeah, I'd be making more.
Wow, that's insane.
This is so cool. After all those years of getting hit in the head, who knew you'd end up just getting the moneymaker
Right.
Acting like you've been getting hit in the head? This is great.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, I've been clamoring.
Man.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's weird because like the way they make us, you know, do it, like we have to miss by 2 feet, and they say like because I was trying to get as close as possible, like make it look good, and they're like, no, you're making it look worse. Like, you know, the farther you miss, the better it's gonna look, and throw your punches like this, and it's weird because it's the exact opposite of everything I do. So yeah, I'm still like kind of learning, you know. It's not just super easy. Like they're changing everything. So if I look like shit my next fight, it's because of that.
Yeah, I got really nervous that at some point you're just going to start missing your punches entirely.
Yeah, and I'm going to be happy with it, too. It's going to look weird.
I've been clamoring for a fight show on television. Is this, and this one sounds like what I'm looking for, which is like a dramatized version I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's actually I've been like behind the scenes and stuff for like the last month or two, and I honestly I think it's going to be a pretty cool show, man. I'm actually going to tune in and watch it, so we'll see.
Well, of course you
Hey,
are.
success. I guess that bodes well in letting us know that maybe Cody's done stunt work for other shows he's not as proud of. You know, maybe he's had the other connections. He's been a stuntman on iCarly,
There was an
Dora the Explorer's a live show.
there was an infomercial. He did a really cool trapeze thing that is very underrated, but he didn't tell anybody about. So, yeah, it's good to know.
You know, Cody, now that I think about this, you really have taken two careers that you really think as a kid that I guess you've always been practicing for. What did you find comes most in handy for being a stuntman, though?
I guess just the background, you know, the wrestling and the mixed martial arts aspect, it works really well with the whole stunt doubling thing because all they're doing is having me do fight scenes. So it's like a walk in the park, man. Besides them changing a few things, it's pretty cool because, you know, they ask my opinion, you know, they respect me as a fighter, and should we do it like this, or what would make it look better? And, you know, I actually got to help like choreograph part of the fight, and it was a lot of fun.
I like that, as you say, you're behind the scenes. Part of me hopes that you also venture into other departments. You go, you know, can I see the script real quick? I feel like this character wouldn't say this. He's way more of a badass. Also, I think your angles are a little low. Can you shoot it up higher?
Pops over and yells at the lighting guy. He's like, "Get my fucking face in this one." Jesus. Cody's like, "No, I'm usually just hanging back, making the money, and going where they tell me to." That's the. You also have two of the greatest one-liner bar jobs now too: MMA fighter and stuntman. You probably have to.
Yeah, right. Like I sound like a total badass. I fit into the kill count perfect.
You should start telling people you work for State Farm. I don't know. Maybe like people don't believe you, so just keep that in the hopper. It's like, what do you do for a living? Long-term life insurance. I believe heavily in investing. Cody, talk to us about. We'll switch gears to the. Sorry, he just dropped that on Raph and I, so we got very excited. But we'll look forward, and we're definitely gonna have to talk to you again when this show pops out, and we'll play a little game called "Was That Corey or Not?" We'll figure it out. Or Cody. I'm sorry. Now I'm naming Jonas Brothers.
Kevin's already failed at part one of the game.
Yeah. I'm 0-2. Like, is that Bam Bam? I'll just stick with the nickname. Makes me easier. Talk to us about World Series of Fighting, because I also got to see you. I don't know why. It was just like I was right there as I turned on World Series of Fighting. And I was like, let's see if Bollinger's fighting. And, of course, you were the next fight, so it worked perfectly.
That was actually my stunt double, man.
Oh.
Yeah, he fought for me.
Wow.
He's good. That guy kicks ass.
Yeah. You did a great job, right? But no, the fight went good, man. I had a good time. I obviously didn't plan to take him down and submit him. That was the last thing on my mind. But you know, like, I mean, I say in every interview and every fight, you know, I just go out there and I try and hit the guy as hard as I can, and wherever the fight goes, it goes. And you know, I like to be prepared for all angles. So it definitely worked out really well.
Did you think you had the guillotine?
Looking back now, like thinking about it now, I think I could have finished it, but I don't know. When I got there, I was just so mad at myself for pulling guard, you know, being a wrestler and dropping back on a guillotine. I felt so stupid. So I honestly held on to it, and I didn't want to blow out my arms trying to squeeze for it, so I just held on to it long enough to kind of work the sweep, and it worked out.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't believe he didn't tap. I thought it was deep. When I saw, because it really looked like you had the forearm under, and at one point it looked like he thought about it, and then he just didn't quite. So I'm always curious, because it takes a lot of arm strength, but when you've got it, you obviously don't want to let it go. So I was just curious what the decision-making there was. How long before you start working a sweep when you get a good, like, tight submission hold like that?
You know, honestly, that was the first thing in my mind. Like I said, I was instantly mad at myself for dropping down. I should have, you know, kept in a front headlock and worked some submissions there. But yeah, as soon as I dropped back for it, I was like, all right, well, I need to get my, butterfly hook in and get ready to sweep him because if he gets out right now, he's going to bust my face up with elbows. And, so I was just kind of holding on to it till it felt right, and just till the right moment came along to go for it.
How does it feel to now be putting together a nice resume as a submission wrestler? Specifically, do you feel like you're really owning this fact that you're like, man, I guess I'm pretty good at jiu-jitsu? Because I think I saw somebody say, I think I'm ready for my next belt up to somebody on their Instagram. Is this true?
Yeah, man, it's good. In January I fought Tyson Nam, and he was supposed to knock me out, and we went 3 rounds on our feet, and I won. This guy was supposed to submit me. I tapped him in the first round. So it's good, going out there and doing what people don't expect me to do, and just being able to go out there and fight wherever the guy's best at and still come out on top. So it's definitely fun getting to show how much I evolve each fight.
No shit. And you spent a lot of time in top position. Is he at I saw him go up for the really fancy handstand kick, sort of Showtime move, and then some of his guard, it looked like he was like a capoeira jiu-jitsu, but only like 20% of both. Am I getting that right? Was he a capoeira fighting, or was he just trying to surprise you?
I think he was just trying to catch me off guard. He knew he was the underdog in the fight, so I think he was just coming out, just going balls out, trying to knock me out or he gets knocked out type deal. I don't know, man. I just think once we hit the ground, he got a little overwhelmed, and I think it definitely caught him off guard. But, yeah, I don't know if that was capoeira or what that was, but it landed, so good props to him, asshole.
It's such a flashy kick. I don't know. It's I always just look at it. It's just one of those kicks. It's like, not in 1,000,000 years would that be my go-to. Would I be like, I got to pivot up on my right hand hard and go swinging my feet? That would be rough. As you secure the back, you start to lock in. You immediately get the full triangle. Thank you. You triangle across his ribs. What were you thinking? Did you know you were going to sink in the RNC, or were you going to just try and pound him, which is also your kind of MO? You tend to like to just smash the hell out of people when you have them on the ground.
Yeah, I was really focusing on position. A lot of guys get, really overzealous, and they'll get a good position and go for submission right away and, lose it when they could have taken their time and, finished the fight. So as soon as I got his back, I figured there was maybe a minute. I don't know. I thought there was less time left in the fight. So I just figured I'd keep position, win the round, catch my second win and come out and smash him for 2 more rounds. But, he opened it up and gave it to me. So, I went for it. I wasn't planning on, going for the RNC. I was just going to hit him a little bit and kind of keep position and see what he gives me. And he gave it up. So I took it.
I will say, Cody, there was a nice moment where Cody favorited like a nice comment from me. And I was like, yeah, Cody, we need to train at some point. You live too close. And I see this fight and I go, nah, I don't know if we need to train.
Nah, we're good.
Nah, I think we're pretty good.
Sometime.
I mean, yeah, I'm totally watching it, and that's fine. But it's like watching your fate happen in front of your eyes, where I was like, what did I just agree to? I just put a death hit out on myself.
I mean, it's a different world, though. I have no problem admitting that if I rolled with Pablo Alfonso and we both put gis on, he'd make me look like a little girl and toss me around the mat probably. But, it's a different world in MMA, and, black belts aren't, the secret to success anymore.
Yeah. And that, I think that's the perfect attitude to have about it. Having said all of that, when this is transitioning and this is happening and you get that great rear naked choke in, are you a little disappointed that you didn't get to beat him up a little bit more in the way that you like to? Like, are you just a little sad at yourself that you're like, oh, I really wanted to punch him in his face?
I honestly, I would have liked to hit him some more just because him and his teammates were, they were pretty vocal about him knocking me out and tapping me. So I would have liked to beat him up a little more, but, I won't complain about tapping him.
Or your stuntman tapping him, obviously.
Oh,
your,
yes.
Your stunt
My
double.
stuntman.
Verbal tap exclusive. You find out all of the real answers that you never knew.
Yeah. Whole different person fighting. They've got this working out. It's like we've drifted also into the plot of Multiplicity, I think, a little bit too much, which is not typically a great reference. We do have to ask, though, you weighed in, I believe I saw it, 138.5.
Yes, sir.
Like a real fat ass, first of all the way down at 138.5. Rap and I were checking. You couldn't have looked skinnier to us. So it's probably a good thing you're headed up to 145 because it was just like, he looks fucking rail thin. Tell us a little bit about how that feels right after because you see it on the scale. And I never know like quite how close, but you got to feel like you're close at 138.5.
Yeah, I mean, I was close to weight, but close doesn't cut it, and I missed weight. There's no excuse for that, and I just, instead of possibly missing weight again and disrespecting an opponent or the organization I fight for, I'm just gonna go up to 45s, add on a little muscle. I mean, I'm 170 right now. I can fight at 45s. I've done it before.
God.
Yeah, I'm big, dude. I was like 160 the night of the fight. With no IVs.
What?
We couldn't even get an IV going because my veins were so shot.
Jesus.
I mean, we
Okay,
tried 10
hold on,
times
hold on.
and didn't even get an IV.
I'm going to stop you right here. Okay. So I'm not maybe the best person at math, but I'm doing some very quick numbers, and it appears to me that if you're normally hanging out at about 170, you have to lose 35-ish pounds, right?
Yeah, give or take.
Okay. My follow-up question to that is, why do you hate your body?
Man, honestly, I would have never dropped the 35s if it wasn't for the Tough Show. They asked, and I said yes, and I made it once, so I figured I could still make it for World Series, and obviously I'm still having problems with that, so, just stop trying, and I'm going to stay alive and not kill myself and be able to fight for longer than 5 more years. So just going to go up and have some fun there.
Yeah, because I worry about that, but I also wonder, was there any resistance to doing 145 for any other particular reason? Was it just because you felt that you were branded as a 135er and you needed to follow through on that?
No, I mean, I made it before, and I don't know. I felt like I could keep making it, and January was it was a really, really hard time making it, but I made it. And this time was really hard, and some things happened that made the cut a little harder. And I don't know the future. I don't know if I'm gonna have a sauna every time I go to cut weight, and I'm not gonna spit out excuses, but I'm just gonna go up to 45s, and no matter what happens, if I don't have a sauna or plastics or anything, I know I can still make 45s regardless. And so, I'm going to cancel out all the variables that could happen and just go up and have some fun and hopefully beat up Rick Glenn soon.
You are putting out a hit on Rick Glenn in a way that I'm not sure I've seen, I guess, in you before or just around. What is it that you think makes it such a great fight between you and him?
I want the belt, and he has it. That's what makes it a good fight. He has what I want, and he recently fought my buddy Georgie. We trained together, and Georgie was schooling him. I mean, Georgie put a clinic on him in the first round, and then a freak accident happened, and he ended up winning the fight because Georgie was hurt. And if they don't give Georgie the shot, I want it. And I really think I can beat Rick Glenn. His stand-up's awesome, but besides Georgie, he hasn't really fought anybody worth mentioning, and I think he's overrated. He's at a great camp. I mean, Duke Rufus is one of the best in the world. I would, love to train with that guy, but I really think Glenn's just overrated, and I really think I could put on a good, impressive show against Rick Glenn and really show my skills on the feet and on the ground. And, and he has a belt.
As good as reason as any.
So I have a question, and this is going to get a little personal, at least for Raph and I. I weigh 207 pounds. I have this question's in 2 parts. What weight do you think it would be achievable for me to drop down to and fight at? And then what weight would I have to drop to win at? Those are the two questions.
I definitely think you could be an 85er for sure. That or just put on some weight, man, and go 205s.
Just get bulky?
No, I'll tell you this right now. We have to keep Kevin away from 205 at all costs. I've seen the level of fighter that comes in at 205, and Kevin is not there. Like, Kevin wouldn't know what to do with somebody.
I'm 6 foot,
who has
so
Kevin.
I
Yes,
get nervous.
but you also don't have hands. So that would be a very terrifying thing for me to watch.
John Jones is 6'6". I'm just saying, isn't he? He's somewhere up there, or whatever it is. Those fuckers are tall.
True.
What weight? Okay.
As far as winning, man, I don't know. I think we'd have to, at least for the first couple fights, we'd have to set you up in like a co-ed 185 division. Like, you know, I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like 135 is a place where I could compete, and at that point, I'm gonna have to like chop off a leg. I mean, a limb's coming up. That's not an achievable weight cut.
Yeah, man. Well, now that I'm at 45, 35 is all clear for you.
I was actually gonna say 45, but because you're moving up, I don't want that conflict. You know, I don't want to fight my friend, and frankly, I've seen the way you fight.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Yeah.
It'd be embarrassing when you beat me up. You know? Ruin my.
Or if for some fluke reason you're 147 and I make weight, I'd never shut up. Just so you know, I would never stop screaming, and I wouldn't be mad. I'd be grateful. I'd be like, yes.
I mean, Cody, if we're being fully honest here, Kevin did compete at a jiu-jitsu tournament. This is one of the saddest stories I think I've heard in some time. Kev, were you not cutting weight, and what happened?
So not like really cutting, but just I was definitively trying to lose a pound a day. So I was sticking very close on like a regimented diet. So yeah, I guess I was cutting weight a little bit. To get below the 195 threshold, it was like 182 to 195, and then it was 195 to 220. And I was like, well, God, I don't want to be fighting someone who's 220 pounds. They didn't have enough people in that division, so they split it down to 190 and below and 190 up. So I had to fight anybody above it. I was 194. I was like, awesome. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you gotta love those jiu-jitsu tournaments.
I was like, great audit. How'd you decide? That's all I wanted to know, but it was beautiful. So
the struggle is real to Kevin as well. He every time there's a bad, I guess, weigh-in decision, I think that's his first sympathy to go to.
I can feel it.
Now, the thing is this, and I am nervous to ask this, because I've never in any remote time, like Kevin and I even were thinking, we're like, what weight class would you be fighting in? I've never once considered this, but I leave this to you. Cody, you've met me, what size and weight should I be fighting at?
How much do you weigh right now?
Right now, that's
a
personal.
rude question. I was going to say, the man has a wedding.
That's just rude. It's a holiday post-weekend. I have not had time to process the 4th of July. Going through some things.
Oh, man. I think you can make 35s or 45s, man.
Holy fuck, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You could make it, dude. Come on.
No.
That's the type of positivity. We don't need that positivity.
The way tips, any tips that I give you, just do the opposite. You'll be fine.
138.5 is so little.
Yeah.
It's such little weight. Like for Soda's 5'10". Goddamn.
5'10", coming in at 170, just normally chilling, and then going down to 138.
He sneezed and had to take a 20-minute nap the day it happened. It was terrible. So 145 is what's next. You're stuntmanning like crazy. Is that consuming all of your time? Like, how much time's involved in the stuntman? I mean, we know like you're training pretty much constantly. How much of the stuntman gets your time?
It just depends, you know, like the last episode we did, I only had to be there for 2 days, and the first day was 2 hours of rehearsal and I was done. And then the second day, I was there for 12 hours, but I only filmed for like 30 minutes. The rest of the day I sat around and ate food and got makeup done.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Yeah, pretty relaxed, man. Those guys have it good, dude.
Have you been has something happened to you at all? Because my understanding is that stuntmen are supposed to do the more dangerous stuff.
No, I took a little blow against like a wall. Because they want you to like exaggerate everything, so I exaggerated it like I was supposed to, and actually hit my head on accident. But that was my own fault. Besides that, no, man, it's been it's been a great experience.
You're probably great to work on set with. They're like, oh, is the Bam Bam kid okay? It's like, not only is he okay, he's taking full responsibility. It's like, oh, are you serious?
Let me tell you,
oh, great.
This kid's great. I tell him, hey, take this punch, make it a little bit bigger. He throws himself into a wall. This kid's the new thing.
Pulls cigar out of his mouth. That's perfect.
I guess I'm interested in this because, Cody, when we do eventually train, I think that you're going to have to give me a course in the stunt work aspect of it, because when you say that you're exaggerating it, I imagine like somebody punches you and you're like flying, like you're throwing yourself and running into the wall.
Yeah, man, it's funny. Like one of them was like, I get kneed to the body, and they literally made me jump like 2-3 feet in the air from like a week, and I was in on a shot too, which is the funny thing. Like I have a double leg on this guy. He knees me to the body. It like makes me fly up in the air.
This sounds amazing. What's the name of the show? Do we get to know that?
Yeah, it was called Navy Street. I think they changed it. It's called Kingdom, I think. It's going to be on DirecTV.
Yep. I've actually heard of this production, so that's why I was like, I know what he's talking about here. That's really strange. I guess when that is happening and you are there, and I do have to really know the answer to this, like when you're going through the stunts and you're kind of going through the motions, and you already are analyzing that you want in on a double on something, is there ever a moment when your fighter brain is clicking on where you're like, I could take this guy, I need to just circle around. That's all I need to do. This guy doesn't even know.
Yeah, yeah, when we're going through it, man, it's funny because, like, I know what I would do, and then, so I go to do it, and they're like, no, you got to do this, and no, he actually throws you here, and I'm like, that would never happen, like, ever. I don't care. Like, it could be Fedor, and he wouldn't do this right now, like,
That's when they get pissy. They're like, tell that Bam Bam kid to shut up. We don't need his guff here.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to fight. What's he talking about?
This is stage combat. It takes it very seriously. What else are you up to? Any big hobbies that are coming up? The people want to know.
No, man, not really. Just kicking it, man. Enjoying family time, training. I'm still healthy. I didn't, get any injuries in the fight, so I'm just, staying busy, man. I like staying busy because I get bored when I don't have anything to do. I have like ADD or something, so I stay busy and, have fun with the family, and hopefully I can fight soon, man.
Do they have an idea of when you are looking to fight again?
I'd like September, and they're trying to figure it out whether or not I'm fighting Glenn or not. So we'll see, man. Hopefully I can fight Rick Glenn in September. If not, I'll fight anybody else they offer me.
We'll just
if not, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna beat the hell out of them. That's funny.
Yeah, Ali likes me, man. He calls me, and before he even tells me who it is, I tell him I'm in. I don't care who I fight. I like fighting, and I don't see the point in picking fights at this level. At least, it's you got to fight them all eventually. So why not?
Yeah. Again, that's just not the way I see the world. But I definitely get you. I hear that's the way you're going to tell
I hear it. Cody, we ask you this every time, but this is a big one, and I know you've been one of the best people with a great sense of humor about this. Was there any remote thing that somebody tagged you with when you missed weight that you thought was actually funny? That you actually were like, all right, I'll give it to you. That was good.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what they said, but there were a couple people, that made me laugh. But there are a couple assholes too, so it all kind of blends in, But there definitely were a couple people that I laughed at. I just didn't let them know.
And they'll never know on this podcast either.
Yep.
We don't want to encourage hatred, but if it can at least be funny, then the mockery becomes a little bit more.
I just think if there's any lasting thing or legacy that we can leave here at the podcast, it's to treat people badly but fairly, and funnily.
Yeah, at least be funny about it.
Exactly.
That's the takeaway here. That's a good "the more you know" episode. If you're gonna ridicule someone, at least put some effort into it before you go. Well, Bam Bam, we always appreciate it. Or full of surprises, Bollinger. I actually think you should strongly consider that nickname change. I get the other one fits you. I get it. But I'm just saying. We were earlier referring to you as the David Beckham of MMA. That was actually just me. But now that I know about the stuntman thing, I'm going to stand by that. Because to go Hollywood, it's all about looks, right? Isn't that the whole...
Yeah, exactly.
He's able to keep the fight career and go Hollywood, which is especially cool. Cody, we always appreciate you coming on the podcast. People, please go find him on Twitter. Follow him. Follow him as he continues to pursue a World Series of Fighting belt. World Series of Fighting is getting continually better. Each card seems to be more and more fun. We appreciate you stopping by the podcast tonight.
No, thank you guys for having me on, man. It's always fun. And if anybody else would have called me and asked me to do an interview tonight, I would have told them to go fuck themselves. No, seriously, I wasn't, when you guys hit me up, I was having family time, but I made time for you guys because you guys rock. So thank you.
I appreciate that, my man. That's truly nice of you.
Always the family man.
Of course.
This is why everyone that trains with you really likes you too. This is why you get good ammo. Well, please get back to that family, and thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Cody Bam Bam Bollinger. Stuntman extraordinaire, all around great guy. I love his answer. It was his hobbies. He's being a family guy, just devoting his time. Cody Bam Bam Bollinger, always fun to have on the podcast. Your Majesty, what do you think of this? You're more Hollywood in tune than I am. Pulling off a stunt career while he's doing some fighting?
I think he's got the stuff. I think he could really be a good stunt guy. And I think he's got the right kind of stunt work going for him, because not only is he doing fight scenes, but it sounds like he doesn't have to do the falling stuff, which is probably the more worse of the stunt stuff.
Yeah, no shit. But maybe it's a gateway, because they're going to need, he kind of looks like Jason Statham, and I'm sure Death Race 27 is coming up, so we might see him flying out of a window. The possibilities are limitless.
I can deal with you doing a lot of things, but convincing Cody Bollinger that he looks like Jason Statham is just mean. It's just mean.
I was from a stunt perspective. They're probably the same exact size,
unless he's cutting weight. Yeah,
Jason's 5'6", probably. Realistically,
I think I take offense to you saying that.
I can't wait for Expendables 3, by the way. Sorry, that just immediately
I can't either. I know.
Lit up we might have to do a review of that one. That might get podcast.
Let's put that on the marker for podcast review of Expendables on the official Verbal Tap calendar. Wait for it.
I mean, Ronda Rousey's in it, so.
Yep, it's MMA related.
She's obviously in it way longer than she was in that last title bout. Ayo. Okay, well, it's time for Your Majesty and I to do shout-outs. It sounds like you have a lot. I can never tell. We talked about some gems. I don't know. You're always... Don't you have a lot? After in the epicenter, being a nice person. I was out in Austin where Dave Gordon, or Gordo, as the locals call him, hooked me up with some jiu-jitsu school help and some just amazing jiu-jitsu, which is always helpful. I appreciate when they do that. So if people get a chance, Brazilian Fight Factory out there, North Austin, over by the Domain. Locals will know what that means, Raph. It's nothing big. It's just the way we all talk in Austin. We're hashing it out. MMA, BJJ Training Center out there in Chantilly, VA. Great instruction. Having some good no-gi work. Love it when we go no-gi. Saturday was a blast, though I got wrist locked, as we previously mentioned. I guess it was Saturday. Yeah, and don't forget to check out BJJ Finder, the world's premier jiu-jitsu school locator, helping my friend Rob, who's in Chicago right now, trying to find a jiu-jitsu school to go train at. So check it out, y'all people. That's going to do it for me, Your Majesty, Rafa Esparza.
Thank you. You know, Kev, it's not just being called Your Majesty. It's taking yourself with the light that comes with it. There's a feel that you have to have. You know,
You sound like Ben Un right now.
You probably
No,
wouldn't
I
know.
don't know, and I hate it. So could we just...
As somebody who's only living life as a peasant, let's go ahead and start our shout-outs with Valley Martial Arts Center.
VMAC!
Let's go ahead and start off by shouting out, our friend Bryce. So, as many of you know, we do something called Marcelo Madness over at Valley Martial Arts Center. And the significant other of one of our folks here, Pam, our friend Bryce, decided that while he doesn't really like jiu-jitsu all that much, he's totally cool with hating himself and forcing himself to do the crazy cardio workout that we do before working out. So, yeah, he's been doing that. And, he beasted it. He was killing people as he was doing it. So it was like, yeah, he fits in. He's just cool guy, nice guy. He always comes around whenever we have our belt promotion ceremonies. And we just like it when we can involve people who are the jiu-jitsu significant others or spouses, because we know how much time they give up so that we can go do our crazy pajama hobby that we all have.
Pajama hobby is a great new name for jiu-jitsu, by the way. That'd be a good
Hashtag
t-shirt.
it. Trademark.
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
Hold on. I'm just going to tweet that out right now. Hashtag pajama hobby, and we'll see who the fuck talks about it. So I want to thank them. I want to thank the great people over at Higher Ground Jiu-Jitsu. Such cool people. We're going to throw up the Instagram video that we did for the World Cup. I couldn't have had a better time. I knew I was going to love going to this place the second they started playing soccer. And just the moment they put me on a team, from the second we started playing that, I was just part of the gym. And those are the greatest places to go train, because they just treat you like family, even though you're a new guy and a stranger. And super helpful. Loved it. 10th Planet LA, like I said, great honor to watch Eddie do his thing. It makes me wonder what other shit that you see if you're there for even a month, a week, longer than just a day, and how much your game improves. But I found a crazy new trick that has been fun to utilize on some of the new people. So I think it'll be a new little trick in my bag. And just the last thing, our good friends over at Cabrinhas. I'm glad I get to use this group on now and go over and train with these guys consistently. So thanks to them for the great gyms. Let's also shout out Travis Conley, who won a big brown belt competition.
I saw that. T. Munskies.
Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Yep. It's pretty sweet. Apparently there was something that went down with the people who were throwing it.
I was just going to say, we need to chat with him. I got to find out what happened.
We need to get the exact story on what it was, but moral of the story, the fighters prevailed and got themselves together to make their own tournament on the fly, which is not only commendable, but way more awesome for the spirit of fighting. So shout out and props to them. And shout outs to our friends over at Artichoke Media. Marshall Carper has a new DVD instructional out that's written by Matt Kirtley, and it's about their crucifix. And if you're Jaime from BJJ Rants, you are trying ever so crazily to get it on me. And let me tell you guys, it is not a fun thing. So I look forward to the DVD instructional release of how Raph shouldn't put himself in bad spots continuously. Once that comes out, it'll be quite good. So go check that out at artichokemedia.com. Our good friends over at Jits Magazine We may have some stuff coming out with them really soon that we're really excited about. And I guess our last one is going to be our good friend Jonathan Greek, who's a good friend of the podcast. And I want to say, yo, hope you're doing well, and we'll see you soon, buddy. All right, that's all we got.
And to Eric Jackman, go fuck yourself for making me call Raph Your Majesty all episode. But that's going to do it for us tonight here at Verbal Tap. I'm Kevin. Thanks for listening.
Good night, and what is it, Kevin?
Your Majesty. I will become yours and you will become mine.